Excellent connection. Okay, we are live. Let me send you the link.
Okay.
Mm, uh-oh. Let's hear it.
What?
Nothing. I just. Are you keeping track? Surf and Snowboard was talking trash to the other in channel and saying that you're gonna have a heart attack.
I don't even know what other channel you're talking about. I'm just sitting around watching TV.
There's like Brian Micon, Matt Glantz, like Madisau, Negranu,
Uh,
and yeah, just a lot of wild animals.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it, but hey, whatever.
It was entertaining, but just like I don't know anything about the stuff, but apparently like some of the betting lines show that Trump's the favorite.
Yeah, I'm sure that they do. I mean, they were already like weighting Trump very, very heavily, even
Before.
before he picked up Florida. I mean, he hasn't officially picked up Florida, I guess, but I mean, he's like 95%, I think, on the New York Times, which is by far the best one. So where's this link I'm supposed to click on for your thing? Are you
Didn't
sending
I
it to
send
me?
it to you? I texted it to you, right?
Oh, you texted it to me.
Yeah.
Email
Or
it to me
fine, I'll email it to you.
because I'm using my computer, not my phone.
Right. Right. Since this was so impromptu, I'm gonna.
Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Let me check it out here.
So impromptu, I'm
Here it is. Okay. Okay. So now we just need to see like what here. If anyone joins in, I'll give it a thumbs
gonna.
up.
People will join. I do have a fractional audience.
That's fine. Either way, we can just shoot the shit.
It'll be recorded. I'm sending it to people and they're like, "WTF is this?" Oh, I sent it to Dustin. For sure.
Alex was been texting me, so I told him to call in or whatever.
Oh well, yeah. I didn't set up the calls yet, but I'll show. I'll
Or he
send
can
Alex
chat or
too.
whatever. He can
Sure,
at least chat.
sure. Alex Animal. I saw. Oh, there was somebody said something. Oh, that's you.
Huh?
Oh, 4 people in. We got 4 people.
Oh, wow. Four is a crowd. It's a
Well,
party now.
and me. Um, so I haven't been to the bike in a little over 2 weeks now.
Right.
Okay, Dustin's coming in.
Sweet. I went to the Commerce to cash in chips,
And went okay.
and
All right,
I
took the
mean,
coal too.
it was sort of a sad scene, I guess. Homer J. Lyman says, "How much do you have on Biden?" Not a giant amount. I got a medium-sized amount, like maybe very, very small five-figure type thing. Um, a lot of it was actually because I had bets on Trump getting impeached, and
Okay,
then
Mike
when
L's
he
coming in.
good, okay,
Mike L, you know Mike L, right?
yeah,
Landucci.
I was answering this guy in the chat. I'm sure everybody's gonna
Look how
ask the
he's
same
shined.
question.
Yeah, you monitor the chat now, because I'm spamming.
Okay.
I'm
So anyway,
rounding up the troops.
Homer J. Lyman. I had I had made bets with like I had lost a bunch of bets on Trump winning the election last time. There's videos of me paying people $5,000 this and that,
I remember. I remember.
and so then I through that group of people I tried to make more bets on that Trump would be impeached,
Hmm.
um, and I
And
got
that
action.
that didn't
And then
happen.
when he was impeached, a certain percentage of those people didn't want to pay because they didn't understand what impeachment meant.
Okay.
Because basically, people who are Trump fans are like fucking retards. They're morons. And so like they're like, oh, I thought that meant he's removed from office. I'm like, no, it doesn't mean he's removed from office. It means he's impeached. Here's the text. Here's the bets we made. You owe me the fucking money. But they're like, oh, let's
No.
roll it into the Trump election because I feel like I misunderstood it.
Mm.
So like with some people, when you know that you're not going to get paid, or you feel like you're not, it's going to be a big fight. It was easier for me to just roll that bet into the Trump. I let them like basically double down, go double or nothing on the election. So I rolled several $1,000s worth of bets of those impeachment bets that I couldn't collect into this, and then I have a whole bunch of other Trump bets that whatever I could get down. It's a little harder this time. I mean, the first time people really didn't understand that there were odds on elections, and so I could just get even money, even money, even money. This time, a lot of people wanted odds, and so, you know, it made it a little bit tougher for me to get bets where I thought I'm a favorite.
Mm.
I'm not like a Biden homer or something or whatever. I'm just more like if I'm a favorite, then I want to bet, and if I'm not a favorite, then I don't.
Right.
So right now I'm a dog. I still think I'm a small favorite. I could be anywhere between a small favorite and a small dog. I was hoping the night would end early and Biden would win Florida, and then it's just fucking over. I could just go to bed. But then when Florida fucking tanked, and it's like, oh god, this is gonna go on forever. Just gonna go on for fucking ever. You get that, Homer?
Oh man, I'm trying to get all the luminaries in. So
Probably in bed.
no, I mean I've been talking to quite a few of them like live.
Oh, okay. Well, the longer we stay up, the more they show up.
Oh, they're gonna show up for sure.
I got nothing better to do, I guess, for a while. I mean,
If they talk to me, they'll talk to you, or you know, they'll come in with when you're in the mix. Yeah.
I'll probably just fall asleep on the stream at some point.
Oh, that'd be great. Then it'll be good. What's up, Homer J? Oh, we got 9 already. Okay, I just refreshed it. No, I mean, it's not bad. I didn't tell anybody.
Right. Well, if you tweet it
Oh,
out.
Zach Beeb's in the mix. So let's.
Oh wait,
let's get him.
I'll tweet it out to my 5,000 followers. Oh wait, I'm banned from Twitter. Oh wait, I'll go on Reddit and send it out to the thousands of people that put, oh, I'm banned from Reddit. Oh wait, you know, I'll go on Facebook and I'll get, oh wait, I'm banned from Facebook. Oh no, wait, I'll go on Parler because Parler doesn't ban. Oh wait, I'm banned from Parler too. Wait, where am I not? Oh, okay, I know where to go. I'll go on 2+2. Thousands of people there that read my post.
It's not even
I'm
like
banned
the
from
same
2+2.
anymore. Yeah.
I guess I'm banned from basically fucking everywhere.
Zach Beeb.
I'm banned from everywhere but your stream, Wayne.
Well, then you'll never be banned from my stream. So.
Homer J says thoughts on Bitcoin. I was bearish on Bitcoin until it decoupled from the Dow. So about, I don't know, maybe 10 to 13 days ago.
I'm gonna hit up Bryce and
10
Zach.
days ago, something like this. It decoupled from the Dow, and then I became very bullish. What happened was this guy, Saylor, Michael Saylor, I think his name is. He owns a company that I own stock in, MicroStrategies, something like this. I only bought the stock as a Bitcoin play. I don't really know anything about the company, but the guy took all the company's free cash flow and took it out of cash and put it into Bitcoin. And I said, okay, I don't know anything about this company, but because it can trade at a multiple, just by buying this, it's like it's a way of buying Bitcoin. So I don't really want to own a lot of Bitcoin because of hacking. I do only own some actual Bitcoin. I'm almost afraid to even talk about it because it's let's say you own Square, MicroStrategies, Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, all these other Bitcoin adjacent assets. You don't have to worry about getting hacked. Like they can't be stolen from you, and if they are stolen from you, they're just instantly returned. There's insurance through your brokerage. So I would rather invest in Bitcoin through like something that's Bitcoin adjacent. But I ended up with a bunch of Bitcoin just through, I don't want to, I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but I keep it in the vault, where the fuck that means. I mean, I don't know vault from wallet, to tell you the truth. Supposedly the vault is a lot more secure, and they have to call my phone, and they've got to I have to enter a fucking code. I got like 5 different forms of security on this fucking vault, but still, like, the wallet or the fucking app where all my fucking Bitcoin is stored, it could just call me up one day and say, "Oh, it's gone." I have fucking no recourse, none, zero, and that's why I would rather just invest in Bitcoin through Bitcoin adjacent securities. Now, that said, I was very bearish on Bitcoin until it decoupled from the down. What that means is it decoupled, meaning like there's a risk on, risk off trade. So every time that the market, or the S&P, whatever you want to say, every time the market went risk on, it went up. All the same risk on stocks went up, and Bitcoin went up. And every time the market went risk off, all the same fucking high multiple stocks sold off, and Bitcoin sold off. So there's really no reason to own Bitcoin at that point.
It's like correlation.
Why the fuck would you want to own something that
moves with the market?
That moves with the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why do you want this? Why do you want a super high risk asset that moves with the market? You can have extremely low risk asset like Apple that moves with the market. Apple's fucking no risk whatsoever. Apple has fucking $19 fucking trillion in cash or whatever sitting around. They pay a dividend. Their forward price to earnings is 29 or something. But then once Bitcoin decoupled and was moving up, whether the Dow was risk on or risk off, then Bitcoin became very interesting to me again, because now Bitcoin became something that I could make money with on bad Dow days. So, like I said, this guy Saylor put all his fucking money in Bitcoin, and so I bought a bunch of Bitcoin adjacent securities, basically MicroStrategies, which I think he owns, Square, Overstock, PayPal, and then as Bitcoin goes up, these stocks go up too, and then I own Bitcoin as well. And because these stocks could trade at and GBTC, which is a grayscale Bitcoin trust, which is basically the same way you would buy gold, except you're buying Bitcoin. Like, when you buy gold, you don't actually have a fucking box of gold sent to your house unless you're an idiot. You buy it through a trust, and the trust moves up and down with the price, with the spot price of gold, whatever. Everyone knows this. So that's the same way I do the Bitcoin. And then when PayPal says that they're going to start letting people basically trade Bitcoin on their site, or hold Bitcoin in their PayPal wallet, or buy and sell things with Bitcoin, well, then Bitcoin just starts shooting up. Now, it became pretty obvious at that point that this guy Michael Saylor and the people who own Square already knew this was going to happen. It was fucking total insider trading on Bitcoin. But the thing is, Bitcoin, because it's not regulated by anybody, you can inside trade it all you want. So my guess is that there's going to be a whole bunch more really good news for Bitcoin coming out, and it's going to cause the price of Bitcoin to keep going up for no other reason than that just is more and more good news. But at the end of the day, the value of Bitcoin is very suspect, very, very suspect.
I mean, it can't be. This is a very similar demographic to the people that value baseball cards and Magic cards, or it's like in just an alternate market where fanboys are going to have demand for it.
Yeah.
So
all altcoins are basically baseball cards. What, did you get muted?
No. Why? You can't hear me?
Oh no, I hear you. I was watching your mouth. You got a purdy mouth. I shouldn't watch because your mouth was moving, and the sound wasn't. But it's my fault.
No,
Anyway,
I was spamming people to
it was a delay.
get in the mix. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, altcoins are basically just baseball cards, and the DeFi market is basically just a baseball card trading market. But Bitcoin is a little bit different, and the reason why Bitcoin is a little bit different is because Bitcoin actually has a use scenario and network value. So its use scenario is basically crime. You know, I mean, everybody like Bitcoin purists always wanted like dance around it, but I've been saying since you can go back and watch probably a podcast I did 5 years ago about Bitcoin, 10 years ago, I don't know how long ago. I'm just like, Bitcoin is for criminals. It was true then, it's still true today. Bitcoin is for criminals. But that's a good thing, because that means that it'll never go to zero, because people still need child porn, people still need guns, people still need launder money, people still need illegal drugs. So Bitcoin will never go down to zero. Now, the other thing Bitcoin has is a network value, and networks have values. There's even a formula for how to derive the value of a network, even whether it's a social network or whether it's the Bitcoin network. And Bitcoin has a massive, massive network. So it has a use case, which is basically crime, and it also has network value because it has a massive network, and its network is secure. It has a massive secure network because of the value of its blockchain. I mean, Wes Ismay, doesn't Monero do the illegal network activities better than Bitcoin? Not Monero. You got Monero, you got Zcoin, you got even Litecoin going into the privacy coin market. But no, Bitcoin's still the best privacy coin. The actual coin isn't the private part. The private part is how you trade the coins. So because it's still basically an unregulated market, you could trade the Bitcoins just basically as anonymously as you could trade Monero or Zcoin or Litecoin. This is according to the pedophiles I know. I mean, okay. So take it with a grain of salt.
Oh Lord. How many? How many? Is it double digits, triple digits?
Well, let's see. There's
I'm not even gonna say single.
You know, it's like you set me up completely. So, and also like, you know, if you're like selling kiddie porn or rocket launchers or heroin or the big crime, I mean, those are sort of joke crimes. The big crime is laundering money, Russian and Chinese money launderers. You don't really want your money necessarily tied up on Monero or Zcash or even Litecoin, because there's just not enough liquidity. There's not enough volume. So you still end up having to use Bitcoin, because you can move small amounts of money with Monero, but you can't move large amounts of money. Like Monero isn't even supported by things like Coinbase. So that's the problem with things like that.
Yeah.
Wes Ismay says, "Oh my God, thank you, Wayne, for this." Heyo.
So shout out to Wes Ismay. I was in the other stream with Brian Micon and Mac Lance and your buddy Bart Hansen, and then Wes Ismay in the chat's like, "Yo, get Limon on, because like I'm the Limon connection now."
You're the only person who knows where I am. You're like the Limon whisperer.
I send the messages to you. So
I'm completely I'm barred from everything. Everybody, everything.
How would you be barred from YouTube though? Like, I guess if you're solo talk, I guess if I'm like a buffer, you won't go too off the rails.
Right.
But if you're on solo, maybe
no, I'm not barred from YouTube. I'm not barred from YouTube because I don't have a YouTube account.
Sure, but you can make one.
If I had a YouTube account, who knows how long it would last.
All right, I guess he's, piggyback whenever. Come on here.
So yeah, you texted me. You said, "What are you up to?" I'm not doing anything, so why
So
not?
somebody on Twitter actually, I better go tweet this out too. But somebody on Twitter was just like, "Yo, when's Limon coming back?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe or he wanted you to come on during election time, which is I'm just like, I'll try. We'll see."
Well, here I am. Harvey Hop. Oh, here's Harvey Hopkins. When will Beardew pay Lyman for IQ bet? Never. Fucking Eldar. He's like one of the people that like, just fucks up my bets. Like he's the type of person who like, if he loses a bet, he doesn't pay. But if he wins a bet, he's just fucking all up your fucking ass to collect. Fuck that guy. I mean, he's like, he has his own strange sense of. I don't even know. I don't want to talk about him. And it doesn't do me no good. I'm never going to collect on that shit. I just, some people you just have to learn not to bet with anymore, That is what it is. Some people are free rolling you or whatever, but that's the life of a gambler. You take your chances. Hopefully you make good decisions. In my life, I've made a lot more good decisions than bad decisions, but when you're dealing with gamblers, you're going to make some bad decisions. That is what it is.
Wish I could say the same for myself.
You've made more good decisions than bad ones.
I have. And even the bad ones, it's just like I'm put in like a lot of no-win situations.
Right.
So, okay, I think I've alerted enough wild animals. 13. All right. The Lyman Whisperer. Yeah, Dustin said you were trying to get him on Poker Sash for like a long time, and then I finally, begged for him to get the F1.
Oh yeah, you did that podcast with LePeste.
Yeah,
cool guy. I like him.
We kept it PG or PG-13. Could have gone off the rails. What's up, Matt Dornfeld? All the luminaries,
Yeah, socks and sandals. Hi, Dornfeld.
And
Wes,
then, yeah, go ahead.
Does some of the gamblers you had plus 10 points on not gamble on with you, Lyman, during COVID? I don't know what that means. Sorry, Wes. I would answer, but during COVID, there hasn't been that much gambling because I'm not at the casino, and so I don't have any chance to meet people. Like, probably COVID is. If Trump ends up winning, which he's still a small dog right now. Don't get me wrong, but if he ended up winning, the fact that there's COVID would probably save me $20,000 because I haven't had any way of getting action down because I don't meet dumb people.
Oh, I guess there's people on Twitter, but you don't have access to that. You could ask them.
No, I don't have access to Twitter either. So for the last 6 months, I would have only been meeting dumb people at the casino. I'd be like secretly trying to like sidle up to anybody in a red baseball cap, and because I'm not at the casino, I haven't had a chance to meet anybody, so it would limit my loss. But if Biden ends up winning, well, then I'm gonna be like, oh fuck, man, I got fucked twice. I just COVID shit. But since COVID's been here, basically all I've been doing is just golfing. That's it. That's the only thing I've been gambling on is just golf. Or obviously, investments are a bit of a gamble. But they're the same way that golf is a gamble or poker is a gamble. Like, it's, you make smart choices, and you aren't going to win 100% of the time. And really, you can't win 100% of the time because if you did, the market dries up so fast it's not worth it. It's just like you skin the sheep. Any sheep shearing type activity is going to be. It's got to be the sheep have to not get sheared just enough that they keep coming back. So, the market has to have an equilibrium, a balance, and that balance usually is somewhere around 55-45. You can look at sports betting, and you're paying 10 cents to bet on a contest, and that number has been come at over hundreds of years of betting on coin flip type contests, that minus 110 number. So that's basically an equilibrium that squares can live with. And so, most games of chance that end up lasting end up at
including
that,
including Hold'em.
including Hold'em, yeah, including like
Queens
if
against
you
Ace
win
King.
50, yeah, I mean basically, yeah, like if you win 55% of your sessions, you're a really good player, you know. So
I mean, no limit. You should be winning more than 55 sessions.
maybe at no limit you could win a little, you could win higher, but I mean,
Yeah.
across all games, no limit is like the lowest variance game is, especially if you play it with a shorter stack, or if you play with a shorter stack, or if all of your opponents have shorter stacks, which is basically the way the game is played now, around the 100 big blind level.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's so studied now.
it's a
What's up?
low variance game because it's sort of like a fucking shove bot type game. You play tiny, tiny, tiny. It's like nibble, 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 shove.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, there's a
Sure.
right there. Everybody's got to make their money.
Sure. What's up, Appleseed? Wayne, let me bring back your Poker Life podcast. We do it occasionally. I got to do PokerCraft 4 live with the bike. I enjoy that greatly. But the real gem is the Limon.
Yeah, I basically only do any poker life podcast if Wayne texts me and says,
It's
uh,
time. It's that
"Turn on
time of
your
the year.
computer, bro." I was like, "Okay." um, yeah, I mean, this is cool. I mean, I'll do this whenever Wayne wants to. I wish we could take a phone call, but
I'll
you
get
know,
it set up. I'll get it set up. Also, if I know like the people, like I could give them the Zoom link and then they could jump in the mix too. Like Matt Dornfeld, you want to jump in the mix?
oh, this guy. Okay, so then the Westfeld guy, Wes Ismay says, "What type of scenarios you found to gamble?" I think I answered that. There's, it's just golf. That's it, basically. Because, I mean,
Ooh,
I
Tyler.
don't really want COVID. You know, I'm not doing anything where I'm not where. I mean, okay, I probably wouldn't get too sick or whatever. I mean, if Trump can survive it, anybody can. Um, although I don't fucking have a helicopter to take me to the hospital. But I don't even want a cold. So fucking, let alone do I want fucking coronavirus.
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, you know, I try to treat people with respect in so much as if somebody wants me to wear a mask or stay 6 feet away, then I'm going to 100% do that because I treat people the way that I would want them to treat me. And so I'm not running around like, you know, rubbing elbows with a lot of people. I'll basically play golf and that's it because it's open air. Everybody basically is distanced all the time and you can have a good time and you can gamble. So other than golf bets, there's really nothing. At the beginning of COVID, like I had a lot of golf action, but now the golf action is basically dried up too. It's like the people who I could beat and make money off of, I beat up really bad. And like now the strokes are such that the games are really fair and I just can't make money on it anymore.
It's equilibrium.
Yeah, it's reached more than equilibrium.
No, it's wasting
so
your time too. I guess.
I still go and play, but like it's like the bets get smaller and smaller. It goes from like $500 a hole to $200 a hole to $100 a hole to okay, whoever loses buys beers, you know, because it's like the bets get so close that it's not worth the variance when like there's nobody that feels like they're a favorite. You have to find a situation where somebody feels like they're a big favorite and you think that they're wrong to have a lot of big action. So Homer says, what do I do all day? I get up, I make coffee, I go golfing, I come home, I cook dinner, and that's it. That's been like basically like 90% of my days since the casino shut.
Oh, how many years older than you are?
Huh?
How many years older are you than me?
I'm 48.
48. I'm 42. So 6. Okay.
You have 6 years until that's what you do.
Hey, if I could be like that in 6 years, I'm not complaining, man. I'm like ever since you got me on the bike, it's been quite a trajectory. So
I mean, I do a couple of other things. I futz around on the computer in the morning, like looking at all of my fucking coins and looking at all my fucking stocks and like seeing if I need to rebalance my portfolio or if I don't do much trading though. I don't buy or sell hardly anything ever. Only if something big happens. Like I had been watching Bitcoin for a long, long time when it was going risk on, risk off with the market, and I said to myself, if this thing ever fucking decouples, I'm gonna make a play on it. And then when it decoupled, I make a play on it. But then that had went on for a long time where I hadn't held any coins. And then with the market, there's some trades are just really fucking obvious, and so like when the market when the COVID thing came out, I'm like, well, the market's gonna tank, so I went to a large cash position. When then they fucking pass a bunch of stimulus, so I buy a bunch of gold, and then everybody's stuck at home, and I'm sitting on fucking Zoom calls, and I'm sitting on fucking Amazon.com ordering shit all day long because I'm bored out of my fucking mind. I'm like, well, I should buy some Zoom stock and some Amazon stock. Like some things are like just very fucking obvious. And you think like, but doesn't everybody think the same thing? And the answer is sort of.
really,
Maybe if you're a sharp person and you're paying attention and you make a really good, obvious decision, like, okay, everyone has to fucking stay home. They close the fucking casino. They close the NBA. I'm going to go buy Amazon stock right now. Like, that's a pretty obvious and pretty good decision.
sure.
You will be making that decision faster than 75% of the people who buy it. Like, you're still, like, yes, some people are going to beat you to it, and you're going to lose some of your gains, but you're always going to be ahead of a lot of people if you're just paying attention to stuff.
Sure.
So
May not be maximum, but you just won't miss any trains. That's kind of
exactly.
a lot of the lessons that you had from Poker Sesh too. I just like, look back in retro. And I even did this during the poker era, like, when Net Teller was slated to go down or Black Friday, I was like, or just like a lot of the overall strats, like not playing the biggest game in the room.
Right.
You'll do better in the second biggest or, even lower.
Especially online, you don't want to be anywhere near
online.
the biggest league.
Yeah. I think overall I did pretty bad in the largest games. Not like too bad, but I know like when I was playing 51 on Hollywood Poker, I lost like net like 24.
The problem is that the biggest games are just getting cheated.
Yeah, like I in retrospect, like, so what happened was like, I'm grinding 510 and 1020, and I was doing really well, and then the 2550 jumped up. The first time was I didn't recognize two people, but this third guy was definitely playing just like atrocious, and then I jumped in. It was like four-handed, and then I waited him out, and I slow played jacks, just like I flatted, and it was an overpair, and then we just got it in on the flop, and then you just like rivers two pair.
Right.
And then that was one buy, and then one of the other guys who was probably a pro, but could have been super user too. I don't know. He just he got me good.
Yeah, I mean the way that most of these, if you're a super user, you're not fucking around with like 5-10 game if there's a 5100 going. They just all go for the gold. They go for the big fucking score, and so it's like, why put yourself in that position?
Yeah, so that's cheated. One of the things, like, because I don't know who those guys are, but lesson learned, and I didn't do it after. I mean, actually, Daniel Negreanu jumped in 51, and like all the regs like swarmed, and he was just like punting like crazy. It must be like site money, and like he, maybe he didn't. The site just said, "Hey, have some money," because he definitely wasn't even trying to win. If anyone was there in that game, it was like right after the Dream Clown matches, like heads up three-handed.
Hey, Wayne, here's this. I got that name you just. I got all these names you dropped. Do you want them back?
You have more names.
I'm gathering
I
them. I'm
bet you.
gathering all the
I
names.
bet you played. You played with more name players than me. Have you played with Ivy? Have you played with Phil
Uh,
Ivy?
no. Phil
I've
Ivey
never played with Phil Ivy.
he only played in the biggest games. I mean, no matter what was going on, I'm sure he was a part of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
but some games at some junctures weren't like 75 150 at Hustlers. That I don't know if you
no,
recall.
I mean, I know, no, I don't think I ever played. And if I played with Ivy, it was online, and I didn't know it was him. So no. I mean, I've always been like, I've never been like a somebody who like saw any reason to like play in like giant games. I never really thought that they looked that juicy. Like I always thought that like to play in a giant game, you usually had to sell a piece of your action or swap with somebody,
Well,
and then
unfortunately, I didn't.
and then what ends up happening is what you've effectively done is made it so that you're still playing in the same size fucking game you're playing before. You're just doing it for the glory, and I never
Yeah.
played for the glory. I just play for the money. I'd rather just play with my own money and play in a softer game.
Matt Dornfeld, I'm emailing you the Zoom link if you want to jump in.
Appleseed says, Lyman, thoughts on Boeing stock? If you got, I mean, I'm sure that this is gone now, but right when they closed the casino, I did a Twitch show because it was such a big deal. I turned on my Twitch channel just to see if it still worked, and it did. And I told people on that show, if it's still there, you can go back to that show and you can see I told people like the day the fucking casino closed down, like the market had already started tanking. I told people buy Boeing, buy Boeing. And the reason I said I bought it, and the reason I said to buy it, I said because it has a backstop. The one thing, if you're old as me, I guess, that you should have learned from the last market crash, the Great Recession 2008, is that the government doesn't let certain companies go out of business. Like
Yeah.
they'll never let General Motors go out of business. They'll never let Boeing go out of business. They end up saying that they're vital to national security. So when you see a company like Boeing stock like lose 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, you know it can't go to, you know that it's backstopped. And then even Stephen Mnuchin basically came out and said, no, Boeing is backstopped. So then once you know that a stock is backstopped, you're just free rolling. You just buy it all the way fucking down because once it gets to a certain point, it's only going to go up. Now, so I bought Boeing all the way down from probably, I can't even remember, from 150 down to 100. And then it just, and like, so like my combined price that I bought it for was probably like 125 or something. And then once it got down around 100, it just bounced right off the fucking bottom. And then once I was in the money, I just watched what the Fed and Stephen Mnuchin are saying about government bailouts and PPP loans and whatever loans are coming. I'm watching, I'm listening about bailouts, listening about the Fed window, trying to figure out when the money dries up. Because when the money dries up, you know, it's gonna find its equilibrium. So there was a couple giant stimuluses, and as long as money was going to Boeing, I would stick in it. Then I started selling it, and I don't know what the combined price I sold it for was, probably something like 175 or something. So, you know, I ended up making like 40% on that trade, and it was just fucking no-brainer. Absolute fucking no-brainer, because it's a manipulated stock. It's the price is being manipulated by the government. So that's my on Boeing. Any chance on bringing back Poker Sesh, Michael Nicholson? This is it. This is as close as it's going to get. Me and my man Wayne shooting the shit. If he takes phone calls, that'll be as close as we ever get.
I'll get it set up eventually. I've been just like super swamped. And
Homer J says buy Tesla. I don't know. I need a lot more reasons than Homer J's saying to buy it for me to go anywhere near that thing. I'm not a huge fan of their cars. I'm not a huge fan of the multiple it trades at. I mean, it's a tech story, basically. It's an automated driving story, basically. I don't know how much that story is actually worth, because I bet you that General Motors is as advanced as Tesla. That's my bet. I bet you right now General Motors is as advanced as Tesla. It's just
Really?
that General Motors isn't sexy. So if I was going to make a play on automated driving and battery technology and yada yada, I'd probably just buy General Motors.
Hmm. I don't know about that one.
People don't understand, like, it's not, General Motors isn't sexy, but it's probably, it's
I
like,
mean, automated driving, that's like. There's a lot on the line there.
no, but I I don't I don't know, I don't want to make that play. But if I was going to, I don't want to make that play. I don't think that that's not a profitable play for me. I don't understand that play. But if I did think that that was a play, I would just buy General Motors. Um, General Motors has like a billion times more upside, and they probably have all the exact same shit going on. It's like it's like when people say like I say like, oh, I want to make a play on cloud computing or networking, and then some, and I say, well, what's the best thing to buy? And I'll say like, well, look at Microsoft. Microsoft ain't worth shit. Just buy Microsoft. If I would have said that 5 years ago, 6 years ago, people would say like, "Are you crazy? Microsoft's like General Motors." People would be like, "What? It has no. Why would you want Microsoft? I want something sexy, No, just fucking buy Microsoft. And fucking Microsoft's through the fucking roof, because these old companies with all this fucking money are doing more things than people think that they're doing, and they have access to government pipelines of lots more money and lots more research. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not making that play, so I'm obviously not suggesting it in any way, shape, or forms. I'm just saying, like, if you think Tesla is a good play, this is what I'm saying. If you think Tesla is a good play, spend at least a week or two of hard study on what General Motors is doing, and then you can say, Abe, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, which I might
No,
not.
I'm okay with like the they're doing similar strategies. I'm saying particularly the automated driving. I don't think that's solved. I don't think it's going to be solved.
No, I don't think it's solved either.
But like, if anyone's going to be ahead, it's going to be Tesla for the automated driving. I'm not talking
I
about the
mean,
actual car stuff. Like
you might think so, but maybe you're wrong.
maybe,
I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I'm just saying. Like, I would look at General Motors is probably trading at fucking some tiny ass multiple.
sure.
It's probably price to book is like 1-to-1. Tesla is probably trading at like 700 times forward earnings. It's just a joke, It's like, for Tesla to be worth what it's selling for, so many things have to go right. It has to hit like a fucking 10-team parlay, right? But for General Motors to like
Stay alive.
to just keep pumping along, it probably is more like hitting like a 2-team parlay. It's because their multiple is so low, you're protected on the downside. And because the US government will never let them go business, you're protected on the downside. Tesla has no protection on the downside, and every fucking thing has to go right. So, and I'm not, and like I said, I'm gonna say this fucking again, because somebody will say like, you told me to buy. I'm not. No, if I tell you to buy something, I tell you to buy it.
You're talking about a strategy.
I'm saying like, and I've made lots of predictions on things to buy or things not to buy, and I have no problem saying it. I used to go on my Twitter and say the exact moment I would buy a stock or a coin. I would say the exact moment. I'd say the exact moment I sold it, so that people could follow along and see if I was full of shit. So I have no problem making a call, but I'm not making a call here. I'm just saying, like, if this was an area that I was interested in, probably the last place I would look would be Tesla.
Okay.
Oh, there's a Chinese guy on here.
Fair. It's not Chinese, Japanese. Jeez.
How can you tell the
Racist. You're
difference?
racist. It's katakana and hiragana in there.
Oh, well, I'm not racist. You just have like a better eyes for it.
Oh my god, I got somebody. I got a wild animal. Hold on. There you go. What's up, Jesus?
I want to type in some fucking strange ass symbols.
Ooh, I need
Jesus,
that.
who's Jesus?
It's one of our wild animals. Don't worry. There
What
it
does
is.
that mean?
It's Matt
What is it?
Dornfeld.
Oh, you're putting him on?
Yeah, he's on. He's right below us.
I can't see him.
Why can't
Oh,
you
there
see
he
him?
is.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I still can't. I can only see the top of his head.
Well, I'm readjusting. Is it okay now?
Yeah, that looks good. He's got to bring his camera down a little bit. He's not centering himself very well. Come on, have some professionalism, Dornfeld. Get that camera angle down for him.
His mic is not going. We can't hear you, Matt.
Michael Nicholson asked if we're tracking the election. Yes, I am tracking the election. There's not much to track because this shit's going to be going on now for 3 fucking days. I'd say Biden's a small favorite still because he has so many paths. Even if he were to lose Pennsylvania, he still has paths. If he wins Pennsylvania, it's just fucking over. Looks like they haven't called Arizona yet, which they're going to. But it does look like that they've called Iowa for Trump, so that's sort of bad for Biden. That gave him more paths if he had Iowa. Now he basically, without Iowa, he basically only has, I mean, they haven't called North Carolina and they haven't called Georgia. North Carolina is still legitimately in play. Georgia is a fucking tough haul. Georgia's going to be a tough haul. I mean, he needs numbers coming out of the Atlanta metro area. They're just ginormous. Yeah, I think that they probably should call Arizona for Biden, but the reason why they're not going to call Arizona for Biden yet is because it's a historically red state, and they're going to be loath to flip it. Flipping a state is a big deal. Just calling a state, like calling Florida for Trump, that's not that hard to do because Republicans win fucking Florida over and over and over, or Ohio for, some of these states that Trump already won. It's easier, but to call a flip, they're going to want all their I's dotted, all their T's crossed before they call a flip. But now that it looks like they called Iowa for Trump, that takes away some paths. Now there's basically only 2 paths. That's for Biden, but I mean, it's still 2 very legitimate paths. 2 paths where he's favorite. One would be to, if you assume that he's won Arizona, which I think we can safely assume that would be to win the northern states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, and then win the two little districts, the one in Nebraska and the one in Maine. And the other path would just be to win Pennsylvania. If you win Pennsylvania, then there's a million paths. So it's win Pennsylvania or lose Pennsylvania and sweep the rest. I mean, he's probably even money in Pennsylvania right now. He might even be a small favorite. The only thing that hurts him is that he lost a lot of the border counties pretty badly. The borders between Ohio and Pennsylvania. But he's a pretty big favorite based on the counties that have close to full reporting in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. So we'll see. I'd say he's a tiny favorite right now.
What about all these betting sites, like having Trump as a favorite?
Well, betting sites aren't basing their lines on who mathematically is a favorite. They're basing their lines on where the money's coming in. And I mean, Trump voters will make some really bad fucking bets, horrifically bad bets. They're historically dumb. They're just very dumb people. Like, Trump loves the poorly educated.
There's some smart people that support Trump too.
No,
Peter Thiel.
There isn't. There absolutely is not.
Well, I don't know.
Peter Thiel does not support Trump. There's like you could say like Peter Thiel supports Trump or Kanye West supports Trump. They're using Trump as a means to an end. They're in business with the government. If Biden wins, Peter Thiel will become Biden's friend real quick too. Like, they got shit to sell. So I'm talking about people who are like dyed in the wool supporters. People who will wear the fucking goofy ass hat and shit. I'm talking about these people. They're, exceptionally dumb.
Matt, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I see the little microphone on the right, so I knew it was okay. But you didn't have the. So we wanna rip on Lion for big timing us and Yakitori.
Oh, okay. I didn't come to dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, going to dinner is just like a serious ordeal now. Like, where you have to sit outside or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outside in the back of the parking lot, in the alley, in a tent.
Oh, I would do that. Just like my wife was already cooking, and then it's like such a she doesn't want to go, and so then it's like, oh, then I gotta go by myself, and like she's gonna be like, what the fuck, you're going to sit in a tent? I didn't want to deal with it.
Fair enough.
Just gonna, I knew it's like if she wanted to go, it'd make it easier. 'Cause then it's like, okay, whatever.
She big timed us.
Then she's gonna be bitching at me, like, oh, you went out and I had to stay home, cook.
You could bring her back some stuff.
Yeah, next time I'm in, I'll just I'll just power through.
There you go.
Easier. We should just go golfing. You see, I'm gonna be at the golf course anyway.
Next
I'll,
week.
I'll be in socks and sandals. I did it for the video. I'm not going back. You guys have fun. What's up, Kevin Seo? Miss your commentary on Miss Lyman's commentary, not my commentary. I mean, I'd feel bad though, but like I should prop bet like co-commentators because like I'm very attuned with some of the live read stuff. Like
You
there's
should what?
prop bet on just like people's actions because there were times when I thought somebody was gonna fold or somebody's gonna call. I pretend like I don't know. I'm like, oh my god! But I actually like kind of have a feeling what's going on.
Yeah, there was one short commentator. You would have printed money betting against him.
Damn. No, there was no, there's who is it?
I heard this short commentator. I heard this short commentator's PayPal got hacked. And all of his customers' money got stolen.
All right. I'm not supposed to. I can't do comment on these things.
That's how a little person ends up in a little ditch.
Hey, it's easier for them. They don't have to dig as big of a hole.
The worst criminal ever.
Well, Matt, what have you been doing?
Jack shit. Working, hanging out,
At least you have a job.
golfing sometimes. True. But just working and golfing. Not very well.
I don't know if I was gonna trust my like live read on this one, but there was like a limit hand. The pot was like insanely large, and then Chris Rhodes said like correctly said that you should pay one more bet to see the hand. But like this Korean lady from Hawaii, Christine, she just like went straight animal and just like did you frick and just like raised, and then on a paired board when the guy had a flush and he didn't call. And she was straight up bluffed, airballed, and I was like, I thought he was gonna fold, even though he should call, mathematically even.
Wayne. It's Wayne, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wayne.
Lion, we need your commentary back in poker. You and Nicole were actually honest. I have to like sugarcoat some stuff. Actually, no, you're not honest with the Rex. You're always like, good job, that was great. And then for the pros, you're like, that was so bad. I'm like,
I don't know. Like, you gotta, when you're doing commentary, the commentary should be
Coloring.
it should be like directed towards what the person is trying to accomplish, not what you think that they should be trying to accomplish. So if the person is trying to like tear the deck of cards in half and then they succeed, you should say good job, right? No matter how much money they lost, because that was their goal. But if the person is trying to be like a fucking super 3-barrel baller and they keep fucking doing everything wrong on the wrong board runouts, well, then you should say they play the hand like shit, you know? It's like, why didn't you say that the guy who tore the cards in half played like shit? Because he wasn't there to be a super 3-barrel baller. He was there to tear the fucking cards in half. You know, it's like you grade on a curve, like, if you're a commentator. That's why, like, a lot of the rec players don't like the commentary, is because it's like, well, you don't got to tell me I'm playing the hand bad. That's not why I showed up, dipshit. You got to know why people come to the casino, I guess. I think that a lot of commentators just do the same commentary for everybody. And
Well, it's not just that. They're trying to like act above, people. Talk down.
Self-promoting so everyone looks smart they are or think they are.
right.
Yeah, they're trying to self-promote, which is, I get it. Like in the beginning of your poker career, you want to showcase that you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. Then the downswing hits, and you're like, oh, I really didn't. Did you guys freeze?
Huh?
I don't know. You guys still here?
Still there, Wayne. We're still getting by, just barely.
So, what are the chances of rioting after the election?
I'd say very low.
Really?
A lot of the, I mean, the election isn't going to cause any rioting. Rioting's caused by like when people actually feel, powerless or whatever.
They
The
what?
election might cause like a, it might cause like a protest or something. It's going to be a riot. Nobody's going to riot about
Okay,
the
fine. Protest and with violence. Is any of that going to happen?
I don't think so. I mean, you got these goofy fucking Trump supporters, like the Boogaloo Boys or the Proud Boys. It's like, I don't know. There's some sort of like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they are, but they're all just like a bunch of cowards. They don't really want to do anything. But then, of course, like in any group, there's one nut, and then that nut might do something. So that's why you got to be careful with your language when you're around nuts. But I mean, I remember when like there was like all of those. There's a whole bunch of during the George Floyd protests. There's a whole bunch of people around the White House, and Trump was scared shitless. So like he built up these like wall around the White House, all these fucking fences and gates and shit. He was scared shitless that they were gonna like just come rushing through the gate and fucking rip the fucking wig off his head. But then like so he tweeted out and he said like, all of my fucking Boogaloo boys come to the White House. He basically made this call out for them to come defend him. Like this was going to be like the big battle. 0 fucking people showed up. Not 1, 0. So these people aren't looking for a fight. Nobody's fucking looking for a fight about Trump. Nobody's looking for a fight about Trump. They might fight about other things, but nobody's looking for a fight about Trump.
Rod B says, Limon's viewer, I could tell you're unbelievably entertaining, and that's the most important thing.
Thank you, Rod B.
Forwarded without comment.
Dog puke. Good old dog puke. Whatever happened to dog puke? Did he? I heard that he quit poker and then he became like a crypto pro. Is
you know he's playing against Negreanu, right?
So he's now what is he? What does he do?
He's playing heads up against Negreanu in a couple days, or like I think tomorrow.
So crypto pro didn't work out.
No, I think crypto's fine. I mean,
All right.
I think he did fine. He's got his world. Like, you know, you have your world, he has his world.
Right?
I,
It's
I,
always something.
yeah, but I mean, I don't like you guys are just going in different directions. I don't think either of you guys are gonna like do bad.
Right.
Like, I mean, if Trump wins, I think he had money on Biden, and like he's gonna be playing D-negs heads up. So I don't know.
I mean, anybody with a brain had money on Biden only because you could get such a good number. So if people are going to give you like a great number, you got to take it. So, I mean, if somebody walks up to you and says, "Oh, I want Trump," and you got Biden, I'll bet you $10,000. Like, how can you not take it? I mean, even money, you just got to get such a good number. It's like if somebody walks up to you and says, like, "Oh, you know, the Dolphins are playing the Bucks. I'll take the Dolphins at even money." It's like, okay, fine. You might lose, but if somebody's going to make that sort of bet with you, you got to take it. I mean, as long as it's within your bankroll requirements.
Yeah, the heads up is tomorrow. The first 200 hands are going to be live in Poker Go. They did a little trash talk. I'll send you the trash talk after. But it was just like, yeah, it's just two people, and they're like talking, but they're not understanding the other side, I guess.
Where are they playing this thing?
Poker Go, the first 200 hands, and then they're going to play on WSOP.com online.
Who owns Poker Go?
Carrie Katz, I think.
Someone's getting a stake in this. Nobody's doing this match for free. Somebody's getting
studio.
Someone has a piece of something.
They get footage. They get the footage. I mean, it's pretty good. It's, you know, pretty anticipated.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's just like a publicity stunt. I mean, I hope it's entertaining. I don't know.
It's just, I mean, I watched Helmuth versus Esfandiari. That was pretty entertaining. They were riled up at some point.
I just can't imagine that they're actually riled up.
Yeah, I mean, people were saying they're both showmen, but there's genuine, like, you know, rivalry, I guess.
I don't know. I guess maybe. Just seems like a bunch of bullshit to me. Like, if people are gonna have like a fight, like if there's gonna be like a boxing match or something,
gotta hype it
and then there's a bunch of hype leading up to it, and even if there's no hype leading up to it, as soon as somebody gets punched in the face, like, well, now there's gonna be an actual rivalry, because nobody likes getting punched in the face. But just like playing poker, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like chess or something too. It's like, is there really that big of a rivalry? Maybe.
I mean, to the poker fans, it's more to the fans than. But like, yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty salty when people like 3-bet me, or Mark Newhouse did a fucking dirty one against me. He's like 3-bet me with a turn with a gut shot and just gets there.
More bad beat stories from Wayne.
I have to. I don't remember the hands I win. I only remember the hands I lose.
But is that really a rivalry?
No.
Just because Mark Newhouse sucked on? Is that a rivalry?
No, we're good. It's fine.
What difference?
Another incident.
I mean, I don't even know if Negreanu and this guy Harvey says Negreanu and Dog Puke hate each other.
I think they do hate each other.
You think they really do?
Yeah, I think they do.
But isn't Negreanu in like a cult? He was in like a cult, like
the
Beastmasters or something.
Oh, what was it?
What was it called?
I forgot.
What was it called? Like Nexium or something. He was in some fucking cult. And the whole point of the cult that he was in was that you didn't hate people. So his cult really fucked up.
I can't think of it.
It was like Oath Keepers or something.
No. If I hear it, I'll know.
There are some creepy ass motherfuckers. That's all I know. Like you had to go up levels. You had to pay more money to like move up each level. It's just like classic cult fucking behavior.
Oh
Choice.
yeah, Choice Center. Choice Center. Yeah.
Choice Center. Yeah. Choice Center. Make the choice to pay more money. See, so Harvey says he's not in a cult anymore, and that's why he's angry.
Did you see Negreanu blow up on Twitch? And he got banned from Twitch. You didn't see this?
He got banned?
Well, he was for a while. I don't know if he's still banned. But
Yeah,
he said
no,
what was he saying? Like, somebody, said something bad about his wife, which, of course, you can get pissed off. And he said, I'm going to feed your teeth anally or something.
Wow.
You didn't know about this? Oh my god, dude, the poker world's really exciting.
It's
you
past
have no
me
idea.
by, I guess. I don't know anything that's going on in poker. Why would you want to feed? He's going to feed him his own teeth anally.
That's what.
So he's gonna knock the guy's teeth out and jam them up the guy's ass.
That's what. Yeah, he claimed.
Wow, that's like some fifth level stuff right there. That's good. That's some good stuff.
Yeah. So you thought the poker world was boring?
But dude, and he said this to dog puke?
No, somebody in the chat was like talking trash about his wife.
Oh. The chat. That's always saying something. I didn't even know Negreanu was married.
Oh yeah, he's. Dutch Boyd had some things to say about his wife.
Oh. They all deserve each other, I guess.
Yeah, that's about right.
Dutch Boyd always wore like a head handkerchief thing, right?
Did he?
Like he looked like he had cancer, but maybe he was just going bald and he didn't want anyone to know.
No.
I don't know. Am I thinking of that guy? He always had
He was later on, like in the beginning.
He always had like
he
a
was...
scarf on his head.
Yeah.
That's like what all those like rockers do. Like that's what like David Lee Roth or all these rockers do. Like or Hulk Hogan, like when they go into the phase of their life where they always have a bandana on their head because they want to like just fucking keep rocking with their hair's coming out. Wayne, I'm glad you've never entered that phase, Wayne.
I'm entering it now. Tomorrow I start bandana.
So I thought that at some point, like Dutch Boyd, like entered the bandana on his head phase.
Yeah, Harvey Hawkins, right? The dog puke hate is from always making fun of Negreanu. So actually, Doug was he tried to do it more peacefully with Negreanu because Negreanu claimed in 2 weeks he could beat 25-50 on stars, which is that's just ridiculous. It's not happening.
Right.
And then Doug Polk's like, that's disrespectful. He's like, I respect what you've done for poker, but that's disrespectful. Like that's just not true. And just that would fire up any legit grinder. And then just Negreanu kept this thing, and then the more rake is better. And then Doug Polk just kept calling him out on stuff that honestly is not that big of a deal to the public, but it's a big deal to the hardcore players. So. I mean, being a former hardcore player, I do side with Doug in a lot of those arguments, but obviously he's blowing him out of proportion and just riling up the crowd.
It's like you can't. How many hands would you have to play for anyone to know whether you're a winning player or not? It's 100,000 hands or something. Like you get some idea, like a confidence interval of 95% or something. Like you're not gonna figure out anything anyway. It's just all bullshit.
Sure. What? It's a skill game.
And there's the even for the better players and online stakes that high, the margins are razor thin. Takes up so many hands. I mean, No Limit Hold'em less than PLO, and maybe you just fucking never. I played 1 million hands, and I think I'm a winner.
Wait, but you won.
Well, back when I played online, the games were soft.
I mean, live.
Oh, live, the games are really fucking soft. I get to play against Dornfeld's dad. I mean, basically like taking candy from a baby.
Yep.
I just have to listen to all his stories about CBD oil. And then if he ever bets, if he bets, I just snap fold. He show me fucking royal flush. I fold quads.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Well, he's definitely not the worst poker player in the family, though. Your other brother gets that
Damn.
title. The brother who folded aces pre-flop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nice guy, though.
He did that on Live at the Bike, right?
Yeah, he did on Live at the Bike.
Well, how do you think the stuff's gonna turn out for us? Do you think casinos are gonna close again?
Well, I mean, they're not really open. So like sitting in the fucking parking lot, wrapped in plexiglass. I don't consider that open. There's nothing about that that's like inviting in any way, shape, or form to me personally. So even though you can go sit in the parking lot, and if it's 100 degrees, you're 100 degrees, and if it's fucking 40 degrees and raining, you're 40 degrees and wet. I mean, I guess technically it's open, but that's not open. Open is when you could go in and fucking, have a real game, and shoot the shit, and eat. You can't eat, you can't drink, you can't do nothing. You gotta have your fucking mask on the whole time. So it's like if you're at the casino right now, you got a problem. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, but because normally you could say to yourself, like, okay, this guy is a bad poker player, but he's having lunch and he's having a good time. He's shooting the shit. He's watching TV. He's fucking, it's a whole thing. But now, like, you can't do any of that stuff. You can't eat. You can't drink. You can't watch TV. You can't shoot the shit.
You can't even hear the people next to you. Or
No.
just like when you talk, like they can't hear you.
No. If you're at the casino now, you got like real issues. But I hope it opens back up. I mean, if it didn't open up for 6 more months, like if there wasn't a vaccine for 6 months, I would be okay with that. Like, whatever. But if there wasn't like a vaccine for a year, and it basically, I would be like, fuck, that sort of sucks, like, I wouldn't want to go that long without like going out, playing some cards, hanging out, shooting shit, things like that.
Wayne, you got some problems.
Yeah, I do. I have no prop job. That's my problem. I screwed up the thing you tried to hook me up on, so.
Nah, you didn't screw it up. It is what it is. That wasn't
weird.
Yeah, I don't know what you did, but I don't think you screwed up, honestly.
Well, I would really like to be employed now.
But nobody. There are no props right now.
No, and they're not going to come back for a long time, I hear. So.
Well, they're going to come back when there's a vaccine, basically.
Hope so.
The props and the hosts will all come back
when the hosts are already back.
Well, no, but it's just like you're not making any money right now. I mean, even if you had like a cut of the rake or.
Also, they're packed right now. They really don't need anything. Like the games are going around the clock.
Yeah, but there's only a few tables.
Yeah.
The Commerce only has 15 tables. They used to have 100.
Like active?
They'd have 63 active on like a regular Friday. 66. Now they have 15. They're fucking dying over there.
Michael Nicholson says, when it comes to live games, do games always get tougher on average as the stakes get higher? Watching live in the bike, I see some really questionable stuff at the nosebleed stakes, so it makes me question. It gets exponentially harder as the stakes get higher.
Yeah.
The second largest stakes in the room or the site is much easier than the highest stakes. It's like not even. It's just exponentially harder. And then the stakes as it gets lower, it definitely gets, because people just make more mistakes at the lower levels.
Yeah. The problem is like once you get to the higher levels, even if there's a a richer whale, like a much richer whale, who loses a lot more money, the other elite players that whale attracts are so much fucking better than the elite players from the levels below them, that your share of the money that whale loses is very tiny, and it might even be zero. Because
not only that, like one of the phenomena of the whales, like they improve like fairly quickly. So even if they're losing players, like honestly, I would rather play against like a mid stakes pro than against a whale that's like learned, because those guys are dangerous.
right, yeah. Some whales are extremely tough because the game is played with money.
They're smart people,
and so fear is a factor in poker if the money matters. And so whoever the money matters more to is automatically at a small disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because they're going to lose the fear game. And a lot of rich guys, they understand that part of the game very, very well. Even if technically they are unsound, and even if they have a small gambling problem, they're really good at the fucking what's that game that you play, like nuts or balls or something, like they're good at that. Guts. They're really good at the guts portion. That's a part where you don't really want to like get into a guts contest with like a guy who his pocket change is your month's mortgage.
Yeah. And it's the Garrett method.
I hadn't been watching the elections, and my TV changed to Golf Channel. It knows exactly what I want to watch. Okay, back to elections. I mean, nothing's going to happen on the election now.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing to call. I mean, they could call Arizona. I don't think they've called Arizona. They could call it. They could call Nevada, but it isn't going to change anything, because Pennsylvania already said they're not counting their votes till tomorrow. So even if they called Nevada, and even if they called Arizona, you couldn't have a winner. They've called the first congressional district in Indiana. No, not Indiana, Nebraska. So that's good for Biden. So now he's 100% has a second path, because he's going to win the one in Maine for sure. They called Wisconsin. No, Minnesota. Okay. So around 5 a.m., there's a possibility. Around 5 a.m., there's a possibility that they could call Michigan and Wisconsin. I don't think I'm going to stay up for that. So, I mean, it's possible that they could call Michigan and Wisconsin around 5 a.m. And if they've called Nevada and Arizona, Biden's the president. So that's a possibility, because of the fact that it looks like they've called the little tiny congressional district in Nebraska.
Michael Nicholson asks, I know this question's been beaten to death, but what stakes are realistic for making a decent hourly for a good player, say $50 an hour at 510?
Yeah.
You
You
guys want
can't
to take
make
this?
you can't make $50 an hour below 510 realistically.
Matt, you want to take that one?
What?
You want to take that one?
For
What
what?
what stakes are realistic for making a decent hourly for a good player? Say $50 an hour, 510.
$50 an hour at 510?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hard to do at 5.5.
Even
You
if
can make probably 40, 35 to 40 playing 5.5. The rake's fucking high.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think like $50 an hour is doable until you go in a downswing and then lose your will. Like
Yeah, like over,
people really
over a
underrate
lot of
that.
hours.
I think people really underrate that phenomenon. Just like you're hourly sick until the downswing, and then if you like lose your will when it comes to playing well. I've seen it happen to like pros. Like we know some people. I just like I see the hand. I'm like you could have just played ABC and just been better than whatever the hell that was.
I love Wayne's commentary. You can make $50 an hour until you jump off a bridge. On the way down, you're making zero.
Isn't that your commentary?
No, you just like till you lose your will. It's just like I could see like getting bored. I could say like maybe you get bored, but like you've lost your will to live.
I mean, part of getting bored is losing your will too. It's more like losing your will to play well.
Right. No,
It's
yeah,
not.
playing well. Well, you just get lazy.
Yeah, you get lazy and just like I do it myself. Like when I was cutthroat on top of things, I would just like pay attention to like everything. And when I'm lazy, I'm just like, fuck, just play ABC. Nicole does it too. She just plays ABC.
Right.
I mean, she get obviously we do stuff here and there, but like, oh man, when you get subsidized, you just like, you just don't really care about the red and black rectangles.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, I mean, the best way to make money in poker is obviously have a cut of the game or be getting paid by the casino and then just free roll the rest. That's the best way.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
or get a deal from Poker Stars.
yeah, get a deal from somebody. Get your fair share. If you're not getting your fair share, then you're really like making your life a lot harder than it needs to be, in my opinion.
I agree.
I started propping within 2 months of going into the casinos a long time ago. I was like, once I found out they paid people to be there, I was like, sign my ass up. How could you not?
Exactly. Exactly.
Easiest decision I ever made.
Yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer.
I didn't have a brain for a very long time.
Well, a lot of people used to bitch like, oh, I don't want to be told when to be there and this and that. And it's like, but they'd always be there anyways. And I'm like,
Exactly.
I used to just laugh at them. Like, yeah.
Well, there were times when like your hourly could be higher, but just the strain is just like, I don't know. I was so stupid. I was like, I'll wipe my ass $100, or you'll never catch me dead being a prop. And then you do it, you're like, and then you could do other stuff on top of like prop. And it's like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Or they'd say, oh, you're always going to be in the worst games, but even
that's
if you're
that's
in the
not a
worst
problem.
game, it's
Like
still a great game usually, and in most of the games you're going to be paid to props. So
yeah, I mean everybody's life decision is totally different. Like I don't know. It's like there's some people I recommended to, and they propped, and they're like, it wasn't for them. I'm like, okay, it wasn't for you, and they still have poker as part of their arsenal, but as Limon say, part of your advantage play portfolio.
That's right.
But I think a lot of us just aren't purists, and just like that's why we aren't depressed all the time.
Well, all prop jobs aren't created equal either. Like
That's
there's
true,
props. Yeah. There's like props. There's floating props, and there's hosts. So like, if you're like a nail down prop, like basically you're not a top section prop. Yeah, it could probably be a lot like a job. You could probably have 2 levels of management breathing down your neck. Once you become a top section prop, then it becomes less like a job and maybe only 1 level of management breathing down your neck. And even that level might, depending on how much they like you, not give a fuck what you do. Then once you become like sort of an elite floating prop where you have no management at all, it's not a job in any way, shape, or form. Basically, you just manage yourself. And then the top level would be like you host a game, and then it's just your own small business. You succeed based on what you do.
Well, it is, yeah.
So it's like you can, and in the casino world, you don't really work your way up. You either kiss ass, and that's how you move up, or you make money, and then they just can't deny you. Like if you are like a rainmaker, you cannot be denied, because at some point everybody needs a guy that makes money, or girl. But I mean, if you basically take an employee mentality and you're not gonna like go to that level, then if you kiss ass really well, you can become just one of those props that everybody knows that basically just floats around the casino. They don't fucking do whatever the fuck they want. They come and go as they please. Now, not everybody likes kissing ass, so that can be harder than it looks. But there's a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
There's different things you can do.
It's fairly complicated.
Yeah. There's an actual uncomplicated part though, is that if you can put a game down, you will always make money.
Yeah.
That part isn't complicated at all. If you can't put a game down or you don't want to, well then your life has different levels of like trouble, because then you have to deal with somebody in management, and when you have to deal with somebody in management, you're basically always dealing with somebody who has some layer of jealousy, and so it's always going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, because there's nobody that wears a suit and tie that doesn't want to be sitting at the table playing cards. With 100% certainty, I can tell you, every fucking guy in there wearing a suit and tie wishes they were sitting at the table playing cards. And so if you're the guy sitting at the table playing cards, and the guy with the suit and tie has any level of control over your life, he's gonna, try and like impose, like, why do you get to have it so easy and I have to have it so hard? So it's something you have to deal with. But if you're good at managing people, I mean, especially if you're like I hate to say it, I mean, it's probably sexist to say this, but if you're a female player, your life is very fucking easy dealing with the guy who wears a suit and a tie. I mean, a smile will fucking basically get you out of anything. If you're just a fucking greasy dude poker player, well,
FML.
you're probably gonna have to bump it up a notch, and make sure that when you see that guy sitting at the bar, that you buy him a beer or something. But
Sure.
That's not much to do to make your fucking life easy.
All right, guys. We Wes Ismay, you asked, I asked, so let's call it a sesh, poker sesh, the next generation.
All right, Wayne. It was nice talking to you. Matt, nice talking to you.
Likewise.
I'll figure out the calls, and then we'll allow calls in.
Hopefully the next time we see each other, Biden's the president, but if not, 4 more years of comedy.
All right, guys. Stay